Thank you for joining us today for the virtual Sunday service with the Center for Creative Living. CCL, a charter of the Universal Church of the Master, has served and supported the spiritual needs of its community here in the Bay Area for over 20 years.
You can hear you. All righty. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Creative Living Sunday service. And for those of you who are saying, Dottie's changed, Dottie is not feeling well this morning, so we're making sure that we send lots of love, and she is out there healing and taking care of herself, which is something we all need to remember to do. And sometimes we do feel like, well, I need to do this or I need to do that, and our bodies say, not today, and we need to rest. So it's important to pay attention to how we feel. And I really am so proud of Dottie for taking that time for herself to rest up. And it is always wonderful to be able to kind of step up and hang out here behind the podium. But we've got a lot of stuff going on. Today, we have our wonderful Amanda McClure, who is going to be doing a talk on interpreting dreams. And it's amazing because in most indigenous traditions, the dream time is probably one of the most powerful times, and it is an opportunity to have things revealed to you, to connect with spirit guides. And so dreams are very important, and the interpretation of them is also very important because we can get a lot of answers to the things that we're wondering about in our lives for that. Now, next week, on November 20th, we've got Reverend Joyce C. Brown, who is always absolutely such a delight. She always comes up with a stack of, papers regarding her talk and never touches them. It's always so fun. And she'll be talking about the power of gratitude. On the 27th, we will have Levering the Light of the Holidays with our wonderful Reverend Mary Gary. And it is, right now it's like that power slide to the end of the year. And I certainly am not ready for it. I'm ready to, it's like election. I vote for 3 more weeks just to get stuff done.
I bet that was supposed to be leveraging.
Leveraging? Leveraging. Leveraging the light of the holidays. Well, even better. Now, something else that is tremendously cool and very near and dear to my heart is the Grief in the Holidays, which will be on Wednesday, November 16th. There will be a Zoom link for it, and our very own wonderful Reverend Dr. Janet Childs will be a part of that because this is the time of year that, it really is hard to deal with grief. And one of the trickiest parts of it is that if it is a grief that occurred some time ago, other people have a tendency to go, well, that was a long time ago. And yet, for the person experiencing it, there is no calendar. And I always believe that there is like the year of firsts. You go through the first birthday of that person, the first Christmas, the first Thanksgiving, the first, if it's a mom, the first Mother's Day, or if it's a father, the first Father's Day. And when you go through that year of first, sometimes for some, that's when that grief really kicks in because the reality of it. Because that first year, I know for me, when I lose someone, that first year is kind of a blur. And then at that anniversary, it goes, wow, they're really not here anymore. And that's often when people need that support, but then everybody says, well, it's been a year. You need to move on. So, and especially for dealing with it in the holidays, that is a majorly important step in managing grief and having your grief respected. Don't ever think that, you don't have the right to grieve anymore, because that is literally a God-given right. And I call grief getting real in every feeling, because nothing makes us more real than sadness of loss and dealing with that. Now, also, we have on Wednesday, December 14th, we have our Light of Lights, which is, 40 years?
40th annual
Our 30th Light of Lights. And for those who don't know what this amazing opportunity, this amazing gathering is, we get together and we honor those who have passed, and not just those who have passed, we honor those who had to go on. And it gives them an opportunity, and everybody has an opportunity. You come up and you light a candle. And when you light that candle, you speak the name of that person. You bring them into that space, and you invite other people to honor them as well. And it is, I've been doing it for some time, and it is just so amazing how people who never even met each other, they'll find out that they may have lost someone in a similar way, and they're there for one another. It is a tremendously healing type of environment to be safe. And there are people who, maybe you're grieving a pet, and that's okay too. It is such a lovely, and then after all the candles are lit, then the lights are brought down, and you just get to see that beautiful candlelight of these hundreds of candles that are all lit, and then each person gets to take their person's candle home. And, it's just so touching, and I know that as I've experienced loss, it has been a very healing experience. And the fact that it's back in person,
Yes.
and it's the first time in a few years. So, just much, much blessing to the Center for Living with Dying, Janet, who honestly, I don't see how this could have made it all this time without Janet's tireless, you think she makes a lot of cranes. She is always there with a candle, because she's always there trying to remind people of that light inside of them, even when they don't see it themselves. And, having seen behind the scenes, Janet, I see how hard you work. I see how much this means to you. I see the love that you share with people. And I hope that you save a chunk of that love for yourself. Because, you've experienced loss too, and you spend so much time taking care of everybody else's loss. Please accept that love yourself. So, a lot of stuff going on, and also daily prayers, something that Dottie has instituted, which is very, very exciting. Basically, you call a number, and you can hear a recorded prayer. Now, if any of you have prayers that you would like, to offer, because this is out of every tradition, it is whatever it is that can come out, and you, each and every one of you, have a prayer inside of you. And it's just like a little, phone message, 30 seconds, I think. Yeah, about 30 seconds. But just a positive thought that people can call in and be able to hear a good positive thought, something to help them find their center, get their feet back under them again, and for them to remember they're not alone. So if you want to be able to, do something like that and submit a prayer, then speak to Corky, or they can email it. Can they email it?
Sure. SafeDottie@AOL.com.
Yeah, SafeDottie@AOL.com. So, and I will be adding a panel that talks about it to the YouTube page, which, for the YouTube page, and I'd like to make a note of for social media, and Corky has been doing an amazing job of learning all things about Facebook that I never even knew about. And one of the things is that in order for it to be moved up in the algorithm, which is basically the computer that runs everything, to add to its importance, to add to its significance, it needs engagement. So if you are on Facebook, please follow follow Center for Creative Living, and engage, like a post, comment on a post, because what that does is it moves it up on the recommended list. So that is wonderful. And that number for the daily prayer is 669-288-4138. That is 669-288-4138.
Okay, now we've been sent out in the CCL Insights and on our Facebook, and I'm going to start advertising that number everywhere.
Yeah, and if you don't get the CCL Insights, please see Corky and let her know, because there's a lot of very cool stuff that's going to be coming up. And speaking,
the Zoomers are saying that they can hear me better than they can hear you. So if you could just back up a little bit.
Back up a little bit?
Yeah, I know you're speaking louder because this.
Oh, okay.
So,
Let never had a problem not speaking louder. So no worries, no worries. Ask them if this is better.
Okay, is this better?
Is this better, guys?
Originally you just did. Okay, Manny says no. Oh, well, okay. Well then, do whatever you want.
Well, we will make do. We will figure it out. And for those who are on the Zoom, apologies if it's, either too loud or too soft. Anyway, so it is an amazing day. It's a beautiful day outside. It's getting chillier. And, this is a time for us to kind of go into that place of introspection. So we are going to start off. We have Joan, Reverend Joan, would like to, she's got something that she would like to share. And then we will do our birthdays, and then we will have our opening prayer.
Excuse me. He said, turn on the mics.
Turn on the mics?
On, yeah. I didn't know the mics were on.
Is it on?
You can see a number in there, right?
No, I think it's off. It looks like it's off.
Oh.
Okay, now it's on. Or it wasn't on.
Battery's
Okay,
full.
it's got full battery. Okay, now it's on.
Okay,
Good morning to everyone on this fabulous day. Yay, we all made it, right? There's two things I want to talk about. We started the speaking, how to tell your story class Friday night, and I want to thank the people that showed up, including Paul, yay, for participating. And yes, we had technical difficulties, but we overcome those things. And Chris was there too. Thank you, Chris, for being there. Okay, I'm going to do another one this Friday. If you want to be invited to it, be sure that I get your information. Due to popular demand, I am going to give you two topics to think about ahead of time. One is, tell me what you like best about fall. Easy topic, right? The second one is, why are you in spiritual studies? I'm in spiritual studies because it makes my life easier. That's a quick synopsis, then you can go on from there. Okay, so be sure I get your email information if you wish to be a part of that. I want to talk briefly about the election results only in the form of the surprise. 3% more women voted in this election than in the last election. 3% more young people voted in this election than in the last election. And I think that has been part of the evolution of what has occurred. So I just want to bring that as an idea that voting is so important. So important. Many of the races have been decided by 3% or less. So that 3%, do you see how important each individual is? We are so fabulously important. Yay! Okay, that's my message for the day. Join me for speaking, and be sure to vote whenever you have the chance to vote.
Someone who is a part of not one but two groups where voting was not an automatic given right. I vote not just for myself, but I vote for all those who came before me. I vote for all of those who were denied that, and I vote for all of those who will follow me. So always consider. And as Geddy Lee in the song Free Will said, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. So we have birthdays. Who's got a birthday? We have Paul. Yay, Paul. We got beads. The magical beads. And the blue beads. Awesome.
Indigo.
Baby.
Yeah, take a both. Take a both. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
Consider it a pre-Mardi Gras. Keep one and save one to throw. It's your birthday song, there's a bell long. So now we're going to call up our wonderful minister, Lonnie Broderick, who is going to be leading us in a prayer.
Welcome, Lonnie.
Yay, Lonnie.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, well, we'll just pray. Beloved source of all light and love, we thank you so much for this place, for UCM, for this beautiful church, that we can come here and be who we are and realize even more who we really are. To lead us here has been a great honor, and we are so thankful that you have led our lives to a place where we can discover love, light, joy, peace, and unconditional love here. So many are in stress right now. And so what I'd like to ask is that, beloved source of all light and love, bring enlightenment. Bring the light, the highest frequency you can, to help bring peace to this world and strength and knowing. You have blessed us with so much, and if we open our eyes, we can see how much you have given us. It's just a matter of perspective, the way we see things. Give us the insight to know the truth, that we may be strong and bring our love and our light that you have given us to all those in this world, so we can lift it up to where it belongs, in your hands. We ask this. We love you. We thank you. Amen. Amen. And so it is. A very, very, very beautiful prayer. Yes. And she got volunteered for this, so involuntarily volunteered. And she's such a wonderful, wonderful light and wonderful energy. And something said, you know what? I think there's a prayer inside there that needs to come out. So thank you so much, and for also moving past your own fear. That was a wonderful thing, and I'm very, very proud of you.
Yes.
Alrighty, so now we're going to do our meditation, and our wonderful Jan is going to be weaving her magic. I always say that the word weird comes from the word weird. So if anybody calls you weird, they're calling you magical. And Jan is one of the weirdest people I know.
I love it. I will take that as a compliment it is.
When I was coming out of the speaker, when on her mic.
Oh. All right, everybody take a nice deep breath in and let it out. And anything weighing on your body, your mind, or your spirit, just allow it to just kind of fall away, and picture it falling into a little basket next to you, because that's your care basket. Because in this place, in this space, and at this time, you don't need to hold on to it. And if you're done learning from it, feel free to leave it behind when you go. So I want everybody to just take another nice deep breath in, and as you let it out, feel yourself settling more into your chair. Feel it supporting you as your weight meets it. Know that you are supported. Know that you are safe. Know that you are loved. And as you sit, I want you to consider the seasons. Consider spring. Think about what it would feel like to be spring. And I want you to picture yourself seeing a cold world, and then as you reach out, grass begins to grow. Flowers begin to bloom. From you radiates the pulse of warmth that begins to thaw the world. Feel yourself walking through a forest, maybe it's through a meadow, through a field, and with each step you take, as you pass, green things are growing from it. You feel that renewal within yourself, and as it radiates out, you renew the world. You become the source of the birth of a new season. You feel the birds and the animals waking up as you send out that call for the world to be renewed. You are spring, and feel that force radiating from you as everything gently renews and the sun is shining. Now, as you continue to walk, suddenly you feel that warmth moving up through you. You are now summer. And as you see trees growing, suddenly it's not so much green, but everything comes to fullness. And you hear the laughter of those out enjoying the sun. And from you make it just warm enough for those beautiful nights. And with each step you take, you see the newness fading, and yet there's a richness that happens. There's a vibrance, there is an inspiration that you spread out all over the world, that this is the time to do things. This is the time to achieve. This is the time to enjoy the long days. And there's a calm and almost a playful feeling as you pass and you hear children laughing in the summer. And you stand by the beach and you see the waves rolling in and out, and you hear the laughter and joy of those who are out enjoying the sun. And you feel that radiation of that warmth and that productivity move out through you. And as you walk along, suddenly, as you pass each tree, the leaves go from green to golden and brown and red. And now from you radiates the energy of home and hearth, of the harvest. And under your watchful gaze, you see farmers bringing in the yield of their harvests and all the things of the field. And as you walk past windows, you see light inside and families gathering, giving thanks. You feel the trees begin to grow tired, and you tell them, it's all right, you can rest. And as the wind blows around you and swirling those leaves, you feel the autumn. You are the fall. And that energy of loving quietness radiates from you. And as you step further, you feel yourself cooling down, and you feel from within you that coolness radiating out. And you look up and call down the snow. And as you look and you see the trees that have now gone to sleep and move past them quietly so they can rest, you see the snow come down and cover the branches and the roads. You move past homes where inside people are huddled around a fire and spending time together. And with each step, the coolness spreads and the animals become quiet. And you walk past a lake and your energy radiates out and it freezes over. And you become the energy of the stillness, the introspection, the quiet. And you kind of smile to yourself that people think that this is, oh, well, the trees are dead, everything's dead. You feel the life that is within it. And it is you who give it rest, knowing that the next few steps, you will bring the spring again. Consider the seasons of your life. Consider those times when things are very still and those times when there seems to be so much energy. The time of stillness and the time of renewal. You are the wheel, and the wheel constantly turns within you. So whatever season you are in, appreciate it, gather its gifts, and become it. For the wheel always turns and moves forward, and so do you. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, think of the season that you resonate most with. Feel it, become it. You are the wheel. You are the seasons. You are the spring, the summer, the fall, and the winter. And those gifts that they carry are gifts that you give.
Oh, the wheels of changing, as I walk the road of the seasons of my life. And I know that I am never evolving into the dream that I hold in my heart. Oh, the dream that holds me in the eternal circle, and the love that flows with the changing light. And I reach out to the source of all, and I know I am in this moment now. Changing in my life. The seasons flow like a river through my body, and every moment I open up my heart, I am filled with the changing light. So I dance in the circle of the seasons, and I sing the lullaby of my child, and I hold the wisdom of the elder ones, and I know I am one. I am one with the changing light. I am one with the roots and the stars. I am one with all my heart holds. I am one in this moment as it unfolds. changes flow through me, and I am one with the world.
Lovely as always. So today's speaker, who is tremendously special to me, because if it weren't for her, I would not be going to Broadway. Whoa. If it were not for her, I would not be having the opportunity to do what I do. Amanda came into the CCL back when we were on Cold Circle, and I hadn't known her for very long. And she came up and she asked me if I would escort her to a karaoke night. And my first thought was, okay, I don't know her very well, and, thinking of all the things I needed to do, and then something said, no, you need to do this. And she was so sweet and so just adorable. So I said yes. And we went to the karaoke night, and, and it was fun. It was really a lot of fun. But it was at that karaoke night that a gentleman walked up to me and asked me if I had ever done any theater. And it was our friend Flo, who is a part of CUCC. And from that first play, from that first night, it began a journey for me that now is leading me to Broadway. And absolutely none of that would have happened had it not been for Amanda. So thank you, Amanda. There are no coincidences, and we never know when somebody is going to be a tremendously transformative. She changed the entire course of my life. And we all have that capacity. And sometimes it comes through, the messages come through a person, and sometimes through our dreams. So we're going to bring Amanda up, and she's going to talk about those dreams.
Yay! Amanda!
Good morning, everyone. I hope that you guys can hear me. And hopefully I'm not too loud. So we're going to talk about dreams. So I'm going to talk about a few small ones, and then I'm going to talk about my coming out dream the last. So before I talk about my dreams, if you guys are wanting to interpret dreams, in dreams, dreams are different aspects of ourselves. So let's just say you're dreaming about you and your friend. There's a part of yourself that is your friend, and then there's another part of yourself that's you. And if you have cutting dreams or water dreams, dreams are different for everybody. It may mean, the water dreams may mean something for me and something else for somebody else. So, and then we can go on the internet and look up dreams. But the thing is, we have to go with, when we interpret dreams, we have to go with what God tells us and what resonates for us.
Yes.
So, on to my dreams. The first dream I had, this was, 5 years ago when I was moving in with a friend of mine in Santa Rosa. I kept having a dream that we were fighting. And I was like, why am I having this dream? That's weird. And then I had a dream. I remember, before I moved to Santa Rosa, I had this really bad dream that shook me. And it was where this guy he was hitting the dog. And then he was like, shut up. He's telling the dog to shut up. And that woke me up. I was so shaken up. And I remember calling Dottie and I was like, I had a really bad dream. I don't know what this means. Well, now I know. When we get these really bad dreams, sometimes dreams are warnings. That's God telling us, hey, that's not a good idea. Don't do it. And if we're having a good dream, that's God saying, okay, things are going to work out. And sometimes my dreams do come true. Sometimes they don't, or they just have other messages. And then there was one time, or recently, I had this dream where in real life, I'd been looking for this friend that I went to school with for years. And I've been trying to find her. Well, I had a dream about her, and we were just sitting down, and I was holding onto her hand, and she's like, leave me alone. I'm like, okay. And her hand in the dream, it felt small. And she was like, leave me alone. Stop trying to find me. And I'm like, okay. And then I remember I was in a room, and it was like, on one side there was like a big bed, and then on the other side there was like 6 other beds. And then I told one of the girls, I was like, close the door. And they were like, no, you need to leave it open. I'm like, okay. So I woke up and I'm like, okay, God, I get what you're saying. So that dream meant when my friend said, leave me, when she told me to leave her alone, she was basically telling me to move on from the past. And she was saying, hey, I taught you what you need to learn. You learned what, and you don't need me anymore. You need to move on. I'm like, okay, God, I get it. And then I had another dream. Years ago, 9 years ago, I went to a blind center in Albany, California. And there was this woman that I liked, that. I liked her, like I wanted to date her. And when I got closure from a situation, she came in my dream, one of my dreams. And she was in this room, and she was just talking to people. And I'm trying to fly, because I have dreams where I'm like flying out the window. I could just fly. Well, anyway, in this particular dream, I was trying to fly out the window. And I couldn't, because I couldn't fit through the window. And then I was like, okay, can't do that. Well, then I had another series of dreams where she came in my dream. And in this dream, I don't know this lady, but there was a certain lady that came in my dream. And she was like, stop hiding who you are. Come out. Admit to yourself who you are. Stop hiding. Because I've dated men as a teenager. I dated boys because of what society thought. And I also dated boys because my friends had boyfriends. And I didn't want them to think that I was some kind of freak because I liked girls. Well, anyway, in this dream, this lady was like, you need to come out. You need to say who you really are. So I do like girls. I would rather be with a woman than I do a man because I feel like I have a connection, more of a connection with a woman than I do a man. The thing is, I don't like labels, so I don't identify as bi or gay or lesbian because labels for me, this is just me. I feel boxed in when I'm stuck in a label. So it's like, I don't want to be in a label anymore. So I date girls. I date women. I don't date men. So that's just how I identify. But anyway, the lady in the dream, she was like, yeah, you need to come out and you need to say who you really are. So I wrote an entry in my journal about this woman that I liked. And I was like, okay, yeah, I still like her. I realized I still am in love with her. I had been for the past 8 years. And I covered that up because I was scared. Now, that's not for me to worry about if anything is going to happen between us, because that's not for me to worry about. That's for God to worry about. And I learned that you can't ask God. You can't worry about things because it's just going to stress you out. And so I was like, God, what do you want me to do with this dream? Oh, and then her name, the lady that I liked, or the lady that I'm still in love with, her name popped up in my head. That little inner voice said her name, and I'm like, don't you ever say that again. And it was like, relax, Amanda, relax. It's okay. And I just learned it's like, our inner voice, it tells us something, our gut tells us stuff. And you know how we want to argue with it and say, no, that's not true. That's so wrong. We're in denial. The thing I'm learning is that I can't argue with my gut. I can't argue with God because God is going to tell me, okay, this is how you are. This is how it is. And I learned not to ask God where it's going to, I'm like, okay, God, I'm giving it to you now, and it's up to you to decide what you want me to do with this information. So I'm not going to worry about what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, because it's not up to me. It's up to God. And so I remember, because I had one of those dreams. You know how you sometimes have dreams where things stick to you? Well, I had one of those dreams. So there was a cat in my dream, and it wouldn't leave my house. And I tried to throw it out the door. It came in somehow. And it's like, when I have those kind of dreams where things stick to me, it's like the message I get is, hey, stop hiding. Face whatever's going on. Deal with it. So that's how that goes. And then, what else? And then I've had water dreams. For me, the water dreams, whether if it's a bathtub filling up with water, for me, it means new beginnings, new transformations. Same with earthquake dreams. The earthquake dreams means, for me, it's positive changes. Like if the floor is just moving and it's like, if it's just slowly moving and it's calm, it means positive change. And the pregnancy dreams, that for me, they mean like new ideas and new changes that are coming on. So I feel like there are new changes coming for me. And then I had a dream this morning, because I always talk to God, and I was like, God, what do you want me to say? And God was like, I want you to talk about your coming out dream. And then I had a dream where this voice said, open, which means, and then I I went into a little trance, and I'm in a closet, and the door was open, and the voice said, open. That means, okay, I'm finally coming out of the closet. So the thing I have to say to you guys is, be happy with who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're happy, that's all that matters. And we can't always please people, because that's what I've learned, is that we can't please people. We have to be happy. And if we're meant to be with the same sex, hey, that's so. And if not, that's fine too. Just do what makes you happy. And always listen to your gut, because your gut is going to tell you the truth. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma.
Okay.
you had the dream about moving to Santa Rosa. Did you move to Santa Rosa?
Yes, I did. I moved, and well, it didn't work out, but it was a learning experience for me. When I had that bad dream about that guy was being threatening, that's when that fire happened. It was like God was saying, hey, don't move. Something's going to happen. But at the time, I wasn't in the best place. So it's like, it was a learning experience. And my friend, the girl that I lived with, we're still friends today.
Oh.
Yeah, are there any other questions for Amanda? Okay, well, thank you, Amanda. And let's get you back over to your chair.
Straight in front of you.
I just want to thank you, Amanda. This is Janice talking about just the incredible awareness to listen to my dreams as messages from Creator, as messages from Great Spirit, looking at them in that way. And I totally agree with you about how we need to interpret our own dreams and not look to symbols. Universal symbols can help us sometimes, but we have to determine what it means for us. And I thank you so much for underlining that.
Yeah, that is a very important thing because, as I said, in many traditions, the dream time is when we get a lot of our messages, if we're willing to listen, because that's the time when our conscious brain decides it's going to take a rest.
That's right.
And we're not so prone to attach things. We're not so prone to try to control it. And, and it is, really cool. And Amanda, thank you so much for honoring us in this space with claiming who you are and proclaiming who you are. And I know that's not something that's easy to say, this is me. This is who I choose to be drawn to. And by doing that, you inspire many others to tap into their own courage, and you let them know that they're not alone. It is scary, and I'm tremendously proud of you just getting up here and talking. And Amanda, who is one of our new ministerial students, who will one day, I'm sure, be carrying the title Reverend.
Yes.
She has so much to give, and on behalf of UCM, I am very much appreciative of you sharing your energy and your light with all of us. So thank you. Okay, Mary, can you help us with the collection?
Yep.
So we are going to be passing the basket, and for those of you who, if you have, support that you can give financially, otherwise, but please place your hand over the basket and picture that gift coming in, that blessing, because those blessings matter. And even if it's a thought of, well, I hope the church, does well. I hope in the new year it grows. Put in a blessing and just consider that every blessing that goes in also comes back to you 1,000-fold. If you have someone in your life that you would like to send a special prayer for, please put it in there. We also have a prayer basket that is, let's see, is the prayer bowl? Okay, the prayer bowl. So in with your thing, you have like a little, I don't have one up here, but a little thing. If you want to put in a prayer for somebody, you can also put that in the basket. But make sure that you realize your blessing counts. Your blessing has weight. And even if it's just a thought, I hope everybody has a good day, it makes a difference. And while we're doing this, if you look onto the back of your program, where we have the sacrament of giving, and join me in saying, giving to the ministry from which I receive my spiritual support and nurturing, is an affirmation and consciousness of the truth that spirit is the prospering power, enriching every area of my life.
And so it is.
And so it is. And, as I said, it's like we're on the power slide to the end of the year now. And we're at a time when, by rights, we should be calming down, slowing down, becoming, more introspective, preparing for the winter. Unfortunately, this is one of the busiest times of the year for a lot of people. There's a lot of rushing around. There's a lot of doing things. There's cleaning for family. There's, as things have opened up, suddenly people are doing a lot of stuff. So if you're someone who has a lot on their plate at this time of the year, please, please, please remember that you need to take time for yourself. You need to step back. You need to be able to say, okay, I can only do so much with my day. And I need to, and please always check in with yourself. Maybe, make it a routine when you get up in the morning and you're brushing your teeth and you look in the mirror. Say, okay, how am I doing today? Seriously, how am I doing? And give yourself an honest answer. And if the answer is, you know what, this is not one of my higher energy days, then tell yourself that's okay. Let's be gentle with ourselves today.
Yes.
Let's dial it back. Maybe I don't have to do so much, but realize that the person you need to take care of more than anyone else is yourself. That's not selfish. It is not unkind. And it is certainly not less spiritual. In fact, I consider taking care of yourself more spiritual, because each and every one of us is the only us in all the universe. You are the only you that's ever been, and the only you that will ever be. And what that does is it makes you special, it makes you sacred, and most of all, it makes you necessary. Because as the only you in all of the universe wouldn't be the same or complete without you. And that does make you important, and you matter. And as far as I'm concerned, as the only you in the universe, that means you need to be treated really, really, really well. So if you need that, whether it's sharing something or taking time to step back and kind of regroup, you have that right, and in fact, you have an obligation, because we don't have any spares of you. And the world needs you. So please take care of yourselves. So, do we have anybody else who has any announcements, anything going on? Amanda, yes.
Okay, so I wanted to really quickly elaborate what I said about my friend and I and Santa Rosa. When I lived with her, no, it didn't work out, but she taught me some stuff about myself. She taught me that while it's okay to have people around, it's also okay to be alone. She taught me a lot, and I may have felt uncomfortable at times, but the thing is, she was looking out for me in her own little way, and she was caring. At the time when I moved in with her, I was timid, didn't know boundaries. So she was looking out for me. She was my protector, even if it wasn't comfortable. And she was a heck of a good teacher. So I always, when I know I talk about it to a lot of people about how she taught me so much, even if it was uncomfortable. She taught me so much about myself, and I thank her for it, because she woke me up. She was the wake-up call that I needed. She woke me up spiritually, and I thank her for it.
I forgot to mention that I brought some books in today, and you can find them. They're kind of arranged in a different way. If you're interested in them, just take them. I just brought them as a gift.
Thank you so much. Yes, and Christine.
I have a mattress or a box spring that I'm gonna have to get rid of. I have the problem that I don't have a truck, so I can't. Anyway, it's a good mattress. It's a little hard, but it's really good. I just got a new mattress, and I don't need that one. And I'd really like to get rid of it because it's blocking my window.
Okay, what size is it?
It's a queen size.
Okay, so anybody looking for a queen size mattress or with a box spring?
No, it's
Oh, just the mattress?
just the mattress or just the box spring.
Oh, okay.
Because my thing would go way.
So if you have a question or a need, or if you have a truck that you can offer for it to be taken away, please contact Christine, or you can drop a message to Corky and she can get the message to Christine. But thank you.
Actually, if it doesn't, then, I'll have the city take it over.
Yeah.
But they are near my house. They're doing a dumpster thing. They're going to be bringing like 6 dumpsters over there to Overfeld, and next Saturday, starting at like 8 o'clock to 11:30, but get there at like 7. And if you've got anything you want to get rid of, it's a really good way to. That's why I was needing the truck.
To get it over there.
Yeah.
I would like to add, I don't know, for everybody who lives in San Jose, if you just call, I think it's the garbage company, they will pick up almost anything in front of your house.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like I've had pieces of furniture that I couldn't give away, and they would take, you just set up an appointment, they take it no extra charge.
Yeah, it's up to like 4 items, but I just was thinking that it'd be nice to give it to somebody that.
Yeah, that might need it. It is the cycle of giving and receiving, and often when new things come into our lives, there is that opportunity that we need to make room for them to come in. And, maybe it's an opportunity, maybe it's an item, but, and something that we are going to be taking care of over at the UCM office. For those of you who have been there, there are tons of books that are on the shelves. Well, we are creating new space because we'll be holding more classes there. There's going to be a lot more going on. Those books really don't get used. They don't get, and they just sit there. And I believe everything has a spirit. Mm-hmm. And the nature of a book is to be read, it's to be held, it's to be honored. And so we will be, removing the books. And so if you want to go over to the UCM office, and if there's a book that you really like, and, we're going to be, it's over the next, few months. It's going to take months for us to do this because there are a lot of books. But please, please, please consider going over there and taking a look at the books. This is about adopting a spirit that really wants to be shared. Something, sometimes anybody ever walked past like a bookstore and all of a sudden a book either falls off the shelf or suddenly it draws your attention because it wants to be read. It wants to be held. It wants to be appreciated. It wants to share its knowledge. So please, please, please consider going over to the UCM office and taking a look and seeing who you'd like to make a part of your life and your world, who has wisdom for you, because they would very much like that. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone on Zoom for sharing in this space and in this time with us. And we will be back again next week. It's going to be very cool because we will have Reverend Joyce C. Brown, who's going to be here. I cannot believe this month is already almost over or half over. But, and then if you want information on the Light of Lights, you have that with you, as well as the grief support, Grief in the Holidays. And just go out and take good care of yourselves. There's an old saying, make hay while the sun shines. And we are heading into that darker time. Our days are a little bit shorter, but that doesn't mean we can't get a whole lot of fun into it. Go out, appreciate it, enjoy the season, and don't be worried that winter is coming, because it always does, and it always passes. And that's for even the winters that are in your life, those times that feel dark. They will always come, but they will always pass. And when they do pass, they leave you wisdom. You know, it is amazing all the learning opportunities we have in each and every day. And often we do learn the best from those things that scare us the most, those things that test us the most, those things we don't want to face the most often hold the greatest gifts. So if you're going through one of those times, first off, I'm sorry. I truly am. And know that the prayers and good thoughts of this entire community surround you. But the thing is, we know you've got this, and we've got you. You are never alone. And we have a Creator who loves us beyond our ability to understand what that word means. There is no time when you are alone. And if you ever need a reminder of that, please show up here any Sunday, because we'll be happy to. Janet.
And may I just say something about our Grief in the Holidays workshop? It's actually a very, I don't want anyone to be daunted by the fact it says a suggested donation of $25. Don't worry about that. There's no required donation to be made, and we'll be breaking out into small groups via Zoom and really exploring ways we can take care of ourselves during the holiday season. Really come. We're also having a youth group specifically for teenagers, for older youth, so that they have a chance to talk about it. And we also have a group in Espanol. So if there are Spanish-speaking people that are only Spanish-speaking that would like to be a part of this, we have that capacity to do that. So please come to Grief in the Holidays. It's this coming Wednesday, and we would love to see you.
Thank you. Alrighty, everybody. Have fun, play nice, spoil yourself, appreciate yourself, give to yourself. And as I always would say to my sons whenever they went to school, have a good day, learn something new. I'm proud of you, and I love you. So everyone, have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week. Take care and be proud of yourselves, because you're doing a thing.
Yes.
Thank you.
And healing to our Dottie.
Yeah. Oh, do we have any comments from the Zoom? Anything that, okay, we're good. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.